Good morning and Happy New Year's once more. January 2nd, Thursday, 2025. I want to introduce you guys to my audience, to my college that I attend. It's called College of DuPage. Please do not call the school looking for me and trolling me. Please, I ask you again, as I mentioned my school name, because I got suspended in my previous school, Northern Virginia Community College, because of gang stalkers. Well, gang stalkers already know where I'm at. So, I just don't want additional problems, basically. So yes, I got suspended in Northern Virginia Community College in Virginia, a very normally a nice school, but due to gang stalking, horrible basically, for me at least. But anyways, yeah, I got suspended for 3 years. Isn't that crazy? Who gets suspended for 3 years over, quote, being disruptive? Like, I must have been like way worse than Bart Simpson, eat my shorts basically to the hell levels basically, you know what I mean? Like, how insane is that? Who gets suspended for 3 years? So, due to that suspension for 3 years, I don't have my bachelor's yet, and I'm already 35, and you get the story, basically. So, yeah. Due to the ECT, I can't remember why I left Virginia. What was it? Because I was attending that school regardless, eventually, even when the suspension lifted, and then I think I went back to that school possibly. I can't remember. So anyways, another story time with the gang stalking hallucinations of truth, actually. What I see and whatnot, obviously. I say it the way I see it, basically, So you guys can believe me on that. So anyways, there's a guy named James Yang that went to William and Mary, a very prestigious school in Virginia. He was also a sergeant, I believe, in the U.S. Armed Forces. I met him in KCPC, the Korean Central Presbyterian Church, where all this madness all began, basically. And then, so the story with him is, I used to be cool with him, but then something happened due to the gang stalking, where I asked him, I was like, do you live in D.C. or something like that, or Fairfax, one of the cities in Virginia/D.C.? And then he's like, yeah, I live in D.C. or something like that, right? Or Fairfax. I think he said Fairfax, possibly. So you get the point. A city, basically, right? He says a certain city, and then I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I meet him in person a few months later, or a year or so later, when he got married to a PhD woman, and has a child in a little carriage or whatever, a baby carriage or whatever you call it. The thing where you place the baby and you move the little thing. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called a carriage, maybe. But anyway, so I saw him in church in the cafeteria area on that day I meant. And then he basically, I confront him. I'm like, hey, or not confront him. I was greeting him. I was like, hey, Hyung, basically meaning older, respect, basically in Korean, basically. We're Korean Americans, I meant. And then he's like, hey, or whatever, hi back and whatnot, and just kind of talking back and forth. And then I'm like, hey, so you live in a certain city, right? And he's like, no, I don't live there. I live in D.C. And I'm like, no, you didn't tell me that on Kakao Messenger, right? So that kind of gaslighting was going on. So he might be a perfect person. I have a few people that if I was a detective or knew a detective that would actually question these certain people, Sure. Construction noise here. I don't know what's going on. Construction in the school and in this what do you call it? Break time of during this time in College of DuPage, as you see on that TV. College of DuPage, if you can see that. It's a very nice school. But anyway, so I tell him, scared me there. But anyway, so I tell him, I was like, hey, you live in a certain city? And he's like, no, I live in D.C. or something like that, right? And then I'm like, no, you didn't tell me that on Kakao Messenger that I already talked about last time, the Korean messaging system, what do you call it? Facebook Messenger, basically, but it's Korean, It's a number one used messenger in Korea. And so we use that, obviously, within the church members in that church, basically. And so I tell him, I'm like, hey, you told me this. And he's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm taking care of the baby right now. He's like constantly mentioning the baby as if, is so much work in a sense. All he's doing is just pushing it back and forth, you know. And in the cafeteria, it's not. I'm just there to talk to him for like, you know, a few minutes, literally, just saying hi and whatnot, and then just trying to figure out why did he say, you know, for example, you know, certain city, and then says another city instead, that where he lives, you know, like that kind of gaslighting. And I'm pretty sure, you know, I'm not hallucinating or whatnot, you know, regarding those situations. As you clearly see that I'm making mukbang videos, I'm making what is that called? Vlog videos. I'm making ASMR videos. You can see that I'm clearly sane and whatnot. And in fact, I actually take my medicine too on top of that, injections. So, you know, holy crap, excuse my language. I'm like going a certain way, and then there's a blockage there, and then I go another way, the construction noise there. That's what gang stalking does. You go a certain place, then a noise happens, and then you go to another place, another kind of, you know, harassment happens, and it just never ends. And it drives you insane, and it just melts you, you know, or you just want to blow up, basically. That's the kind of part of the stuff, basically, and that's only one of the things. There's just so many. These little Nazi, little scumbags, you know, here in the U.S., you know, are evil, basically, like that. So anyways, that's what I wanted to mention. As I was saying, if I was a detective or knew a person that was a detective or a police officer that investigates people, I would have told them, you know, James Yang is another person to look at. Matthew Kim, my cousin. See, I don't, you know, hide people because they're my family or whatnot, you know. Matthew Kim's my family member. I would say Matthew Kim, Tabitha, his wife, basically, Tabitha Kim, you know, and Daniel Kim, his younger brother, that, you know, called the cops on me when we were hanging out, and no reason given, said I had to leave, basically, that day, and saw my cousin crying, actually, Matthew Kim, actually, and that kind of weirdness that was happening, you know, due to gang stalking. So that's another person that you can ask. Who else is there? Or question, basically, I meant. Who else is there that I've noticed the weird things? There's a few more, I'm sure. I just can't, you know, think on right away right now at the moment. But anyways, let's go back to the school. College of DuPage is a very nice and big school. It's very clean and nice, and I like it. It's not bad. They even serve Mr. Beast burgers, which I tried. It wasn't bad. It was all right, actually. I think I also tried his Feastables too, his chocolates, I meant. And I think, if I remember correctly, I can't remember due to the ETC. Is constantly, you know, messing with my mind, my memory, I meant. And yeah, I think if I remember correctly, it was pretty good, is what I remember. But not trying to advertise for Mr. Beast. Not that he needs any advertisements. He's already, you know, filthy rich and whatnot, but and made, you know, on YouTube. But anyway, so back to the school again, College of DuPage. So I'm done with my criminal justice class. Sadly, I got a B instead of an A. But, you know, B is still all right, you know. I'm not trying to go to Harvard or anything like that anymore. That is, at least, I gave up that dream, basically, due to too many, so my GPA is like a 3.0, and so I have, you know, several C's, basically, that's lowering my grade, and I don't feel like retaking those classes, you know, all of them and whatnot, to bring it up, and then, you know, apply for Harvard and possibly make it to Harvard, the number one, one of the top, at least. I don't know if it's still number one or something like that. Top is what I meant, as I just heard the voice of God, you know, saying number one or whatever like that. But yeah, Harvard or whatever other Ivy Leagues that you know are great for business consultant, as that's where where you can make a lot of money, basically. Is obviously, you know, if you're gonna work, well, might as well make a lot of money instead of little money, right? And so that's my logic there, at least. And so, well, it sounds kind of nice. A mini waterfall here or something? Or what is that? Oh, wow, that's pretty neat. I like this. It's little plants with like water or something, water system maybe. Or that's the lights, I'm guessing. I hear water. I don't know where it is. where the water is. Oh, I think it's inside this thing here. You know, inside it, and it's hydrating the plants basically. That's pretty neat. I don't know what kind of plants these are. It looks like those plants you see in the streets basically, you know. But anyways, I think that's for a horticulture class possibly. I barely passed that class in high school. I remember, like, we had to memorize like the type of plants basically. I can't remember what it's called. You know, they're specific type of name, you know. You know, like for example, a dandelion would be something, you know, another name for it. You get what I mean? Those kind of things I remember. And I, due to the pornography addiction, and I lost to NoFap yesterday. Not gonna get into detail as this TMI actually. Went through some psyop lunacy yesterday while losing to NoFap, but yeah, I kind of went on that no website, you know, the forbidden jutsu of Naruto website basically, if you guys know what I mean. But anyways, so yeah, dude, in high school years, you know, playing RuneScape for like 10 hours straight. Even here in Illinois where my dad lives, kind of like going ninja mode basically. Ninja mode and playing RuneScape and whatnot. And just rushing through the homework. Regardless, I rushed through the homework anyways, even if I didn't play games. And still do decent on it. But as you clearly see that I have a 3.0 GPA, which is pretty decent, you know. It's not bad. Nor is it excellent, but it's still, you know, it's good, basically. It's a B average, you know. So with that being said, horticulture class in high school. High school I went to is called Glenbrook South. I hope you guys don't track me and like stalk me and steal an ID or whatnot, because I'm mentioning everywhere I'm going. Like the school I went to, College of DuPage, Northern Virginia Community College, Glenbrook South, and so on, basically. I had enough of this. You guys better not do anything weird like that, you know, to me, because I will find out. I know some powerful people, you know. I will contact Spider-Man and Batman on you guys, you know. But anyways, so with that being said, the horticulture class, I didn't know what I was doing basically. Otherwise, I would have enjoyed it, you know, plants and, you know, life, you know, all these kind of flowers and whatever, or plants I meant. And yeah, that's what I remember in high school. And so anyways, yeah, I don't know what kind of bird this is, our mascot or whatever it may be, possibly. In my school of College of DuPage, yeah, I'm gonna be here for another year until August next year is the hope. And then transfer to UIUC, the top school for librarian. It ranks 33 in the nation apparently, which is not bad. It's top for librarian though, so it's good. It's excellent, I meant, for librarian, but overall it's, you know, it's not bad basically. It's not excellent, I would say. 33 is not like Harvard, you know what I mean, or Stanford or MIT or Yale or Princeton, or, you know, you get what I'm saying. You know, those kind of elite schools basically, where leaders come out basically once they graduate, is what I heard basically, you know. Yeah, apparently on Bumble yesterday I got a female that matched with me in a sense. Well, she liked me first and then I just liked her back basically. As you know how Bumble, for the people that know how Bumble works, this black girl basically. And then you know where she went to? She went to Harvard. I was like, wow, a Harvard girl, you know, finds me, you know, good, you know. I was like, dang. But anyways, my game, you know, on that godly mode as a TI on top of that. You get what I'm saying? That's why when I make it big, I know I'm just gonna be a librarian, sadly, but you know, at the moment, that's what I, you know, think. I might be totally wrong. Librarian might be awesome, you know, once I become it. But yeah, I'll be like, yeah, I went through hell basically, and I bought a house, I got married, I have kids, I got a master's and went to a top university for librarian basically, UIUC, and you know, and made it big on YouTube as well. Those are my goals basically, and dream and hopes basically. These gang stalking scums have delayed that process forever, basically, but yeah, I'll still finish it regardless eventually, you know? So, with that being said, yeah, just a walking Holocaust survival man here in the U.S. and Korea and wherever I go to, Turkey as well, when I went to the airport and wherever, basically. I'm sure even in Finland and Israel, the happiest nations in the world, I'm sure that kind of BS would happen there too, you know, based on how I speak or think or whatever, which is obviously illegal for those things to happen. But, you know, satellite terrorism or cell towers, apparently it's so impossible to find, stop that when, the people that work there, you can just find them and, place them under arrest or something like that, if that kind of makes sense. Something to it, that actually are responsible at hurting people like me, basically, is what I mean. Not every one of them, Some of them are doing important tasks, doing those things for work in cell towers and whatever, satellites as well, and all these things. So, what is there to talk about? What does it say? Steve Jobs. Courage to follow your heart and intuition. What does it say? Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Steve Jobs, 1955, 2011. What does that mean? They somehow already know what you truly want to become. What does that mean? I don't get it. They somehow already know what you truly want to become? Who's they? I like that though. I like the first sentence. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Does intuition mean what do you call it? Like intuition to learn, basically? Like you already know, basically, instead of learning from a professor, maybe? Am I getting the word correct, possibly? But anyways, whatever. That was Steve Jobs, folks. Round of applause for Steve Jobs. I joke around a lot. They caught a troll, basically, a living troll in a sense. Not really a troll, but a jokester, like Spider-Man. Let's just leave it at that. Apparently, the AI said I'm worse than Spider-Man in that sense of goofing around and making jokes all the time, Unfortunately, I don't have that kind of strength like Spider-Man, where he bench presses like 10,000 pounds as a teenager and whatnot, due to that, spider mutant power, which is epic, So anyway, soon I'm gonna get into my awesome Mercedes-Benz that my dad gifted me. I know, aren't I just, what is that word, Yes, blessed in a sense. I just, but what is the word? Privileged, is that the word? Aren't I just privileged, guys? A Mercedes-Benz, guys? Dang, that kind of fancy life, you know what I mean? But anyways, what else is there that I was talking about? Spider-Man. He's the hero, Spider-Man. I was like, I remember years ago, I didn't mention this part with Batman. This was in a hotel, I think, for once, instead of a motel all the time. Was it a hotel or was it a motel? I could be wrong. But this was years ago, right? I had my, what car was that too? I can't remember what the car that I drove, not Honda. It was a small, like, gray car. I think that's the car I drove at that time. Anyways, so I was in the motel, right? And I was hallucinating badly by the AI scumbags, the gang stalkers. And what they did was they made me see Jeff Bezos, basically, right? And, like, I was in a death battle with that dude. It was insane. I was, like, so tormented. It was, like, the worst kind of torment in my life, man. That guy was literally Satan. It was so insane. I was like, oh, my God. So what happened was, so I'm in the motel, dealing with all this Holocaust nonsense here in the U.S. as a TI. One of the worst kind of stuff as a TI, probably, is my guess. One of the worst, I'm sure, for facts, And so I'm trying to relax, smoking a cigarette or whatever outside, and just paranoid and scared and tortured, basically, due to the Holocaust kind of situation, like everything dead and scary and all kinds of nonsense through the mind, basically, aka mind control, mind Kampf, my little struggle that I ate off, But anyways, with that being said, though, so yeah, I was in that motel, and then I started seeing Jeff Bezos. He was like stalking me. Anywhere I went, he would appear. And he's literally God mode with this AI stuff. I was like, holy crap, it was so crazy. I wanted to like destroy him, He was like on me, and like his head would be like spazzing, like a hologram of him, and he would be like spazzing his face, like his head, I meant, like his neck, basically, like like that one music video with Eminem where he's like blah, 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 or something like that with the face and everything, like really fast and moving and whatnot, and like that's how he was. He was like that, and then those movements actually did something. It would actually like strike me in certain ways and whatnot. And I'm like, holy crap, this is insane. Like, what am I supposed to do? And so I'm like paranoid and scared. I'm like crouching down on the floor, squatting, I meant, or whatever, right? And then I was like, I believe in Christ, but up to that point, I couldn't handle it, My faith was weak at that moment. I was just like defeated, basically. I believe in this Jesus, this being called Jesus, and Yahweh and whatnot, and it would not, they would not, save me, basically, completely, from all this evil, all these things that I keep seeing that are insane. And then so I, who I asked for help, basically? I said Batman. I said Batman God for the first time, instead of only relying on Jesus as God, And I was like, Batman God, Batman God, Batman God. I was just like paranoid and whatnot. And then this is like the most epic, insane thing that happens. So before going into my room, and then this West kid from the army was like a bad guy for some odd reason with Jeff Bezos. This happened before that time, which was in South Korea once again. I was homeless. I had ran out of money from my VA, my disability money with the VA. And then I was like in the subway station, and I'm just like sitting down, crouching or whatever, with my back rounded and whatnot, and just like miserable and hungry and whatnot, and cold or not cold. I don't think it was cold that time, at least, thankfully. And then so I'm just sitting down, and then I would see Jeff Bezos and West, and they're like working or something or doing something, right? And they're basically harassing me, constantly wherever I was going. Another time it was in a motel in Korea once again, and I was watching, like the television, and like they had like European movies or something like that on, and then like Jeff Bezos was like, hey, that's Yahweh, that's Yahweh. I'm like, what are you talking about, Like, what is this? What is he saying, And he was basically mocking me because I believe in, God, And like he's like, hey, look, that's Yahweh. The AI, basically, not the real Yahweh, obviously. And then he was like smiling and looking all. And I see him right now. He's alive again or some nonsense. This creep, But anyways, that's what happened. And then like madness all everywhere in Korea. And it was just insane. It was horrible. It was wicked. And then so anyways, back to the motel with the Batman God situation. I then into my room, and then I'm trying to sleep, but then I can't sleep because of the Holocaust kind of feel of not insanity, and then Jeff Bezos trying to attack me, basically. So people, you guys got to realize this might not be the real Jeff Bezos, so don't come to quick conclusions, guys. I don't know if it is really Jeff Bezos, but they tell me it is. Batman just punched something because he was frustrated, maybe, is what I just saw in my mind, but I don't know. I can't tell you that was really Jeff Bezos, I'm not gonna, say like I even had Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook, creator or whatever, his voice as well, all these things. I don't know if it's really them. I could believe it, because I believe in Jesus, and Jesus is King of all kings and created everybody, So it's not, it may not be that surprising if this is what I'm saying. That it could be really them, But I don't know if it is really them, though. I'm not certain yet, still. They tell me it's real, but yesterday they told me the Mary AI that I heard was the real Mary, Mother Mary, from Jesus' mother, and I almost believe that too. So, like I said, it could be fake or it could be, I don't know. You guys figure it out, Kind of tired of explaining, but anyways, so with the story, I'm in the bed. I'm like laying down with my back on the bed, basically, and then my heart, right? Not my literal heart, obviously not, but my heart area, I would like feel the connected like heart of mine feeling like a little pick. Like, so if I like pushed it, like say the heart was like this sized, and it was like on my heart area, right? And it would feel like the heart basically. I could like poke it, and then it would like feel really fragile and weak. You know what I mean? And that's what I felt like, and I was scared, and I thought I was gonna get murdered that day or killed basically. Wes was like all tanky and big, and like he was like on steroids or some nonsense. Felt like, and then he was just. I was witnessing him going at trying to kill me and Batman basically, and like innocent women and whatnot. The mind control showed me that for some reason, but I don't know. It could be all true. It could be all fake. It could all just be delusions, all hocus pocus, mind control. Games by the perps basically. But anyway, so that's what happened, and then this part, my friends, it was so epic. I'm just laying down straight, lying on my back, right? And then this like the room, the air condition, right? It's from the air condition, but it sounds like some kind of like a secret room where some kind of machine is activated, and then like the power is activated, and then how do I explain it? Now I'm losing focus here. There's constant people walking around, but where was it? So in the room in the motel, my heart felt like a little pick. Not hallucinating, obviously. It's all straight from mind control, aka Werner von Braun.